Now, what we're going to cover today is how to embody your feminine more to make receiving a lot easier for you. So how to stop being the controlling one and trying to do it all yourself, okay? As I dove more and more into this feminine energy work and implementing it in my own life as well to savor our relationship, to feel more at ease through motherhood, to also just like feel more alive in my entire body, which makes my creativity flow easier and then makes business easier. There's so many benefits to it and I could go on and on. But we are just going to get to the point now of how to release that control. So this is where I started my podcast from. So sometimes when we feel like we want to have an oversight of everything, we want to plan everything, we want to be the one in charge, it's because we're not feeling safe. So that's essentially the underlying current of what's going on. And that's what I explored as well back like 4 years ago when I started my podcast called Release to Revive, because it was that like mental holding on to things, trying to like be the one that crosses all the T's and ticks all the things and make sure it's all going well, and changing myself to like make sure it all works well and everyone's happy. But it just exhausted me, for one. And two, it's no fun. Like, excuse me. You just like become this a little bit of like a overbearing energy for others, and you can kind of like wanting to like control their behavior, and it's just not healthy. And it's our nervous system being at work here, trying to protect us in that sense. Because when we do start to feel out of control, especially when there's things unknown or there's changes happening in our relationship, in our life, in our family dynamic, whatever it is, if we try to control it too much and like trying to have it how it used to be, or whatever it is you're trying to like do to feel safe again, it's the change is inevitable. Like, change is the only constant, and you may as well embrace it and learn how to move with those things and dance with those things with life. And what I found that helps with that is through feminine embodiment, because it is more of that like tapping into your body, knowing how to feel safe in your body, and then being able to take more inspired action in line with your intuition, your intuitive hits. So the 3 points I'm going to give you is to let him help you. So any masculine man in your life, let them help you. Masculine energy wants to serve, wants to provide, wants to protect. And once we open our eyes up to see that, we can let that in, we can allow that in a safe way. So there's a story that so a few weeks ago, there was a lady that was telling her girlfriends, I was somewhere public, kind of eavesdropped into the conversation, but she was saying, bless her, amazing, beautiful woman, kind, I spoke to her as well. But she was saying to her friends before Christmas, she's like, I have so many things to do before the end of the year. I wrote this like big list the other day and it just kind of overwhelmed me. And she's like, yeah, it's crazy this time of year. And then she proceeded to tell them that that night she had that list there on her nightstand, and her partner looked over at the list and saw that there was a lot to do for her. So he said, can I do anything on that list to take it off your shoulders? And to what she replied, this is her telling her friends the story, she was like, and I said, well, no, because you'll stuff it up. You're not going to get it right. And she fully shut that down. Like, she fully shut his asking for being able to help you, being able to protect and provide protect your energy, help to provide for you what he really wanted to do as the masculine man. And she just went, nah, like, you can't do it well enough, and shut it down, which would have shut his energy down. He would have been like, oh, okay, I can't help her, making him not feel good. And she is in that energy of like, I need to do it myself. I'm the only one that can do it. And that's just not helping her either, because she's then depleted and frustrated and like, why am I doing it all on my own? It's just this like cycle of, I was sitting there and I'm like, no, let him help. Who cares if it's not 100% of how you would do it? Like, even if it got 80% of the job done, awesome. There's like less off your shoulders, you know? So that's one of the things. Let them help you, no matter how small the thing is. Like, if they're like, oh, let me, like, can I get you anything, like a water? Yes, please. Like, just start to say yes. Start to receive in those small ways. That's one feminine trait, one quality you can practice. Second one, a micro habit you can do is how you move. Start to notice how your body's moving. So even just when you're walking, like, what are your hips doing? I keep burping, sorry guys. What are your hips doing? What are your shoulders doing? What are your movements in your eyes doing even? Like, how are you turning your head? Just noticing. Don't judge yourself for it. But sometimes when we really in that, I've got to get things done, we get really stiff. We get really we don't even look at people. We're just blah, blah, blah. And we try to get the job done. This is what happens to me. And then you kind of go, hang on a minute. I'm just going to take a breath. It's going to flow through this life a little more with ease. I'm going to let my hips move as I walk. Yeah, this is what they were born for. Show my body. And look at people in the eyes for just a hot 10 seconds. Doesn't take much time. And you can notice them. You can see them. You can be like, hey, how's your day been? Or just a hi. And then I got to do this thing. But instead of just being like, hi, really just take those little moments of pause and notice how your body's moving through the day, throughout your space. Number 3, desire-based speaking. This is huge. So all about the feminine energy is following those desires, those really, truly soul-felt, spirited, body-led desires, not the superficial stuff, not the thing that you think everyone else thinks that you should have, that you will make you feel will be perceived as more beautiful and better, whatever. Something that you actually feel called to and something that you truly desire if you're honest with yourself. Those things. So I'll give you a practical example how to speak it, especially to your masculine men. So for example, my partner, beautiful man, works full-time. And I was like, okay, I really want to do a yoga class for myself this weekend. So I'm going to try and book in this Sunday morning yoga class. And I did. And then instead of being like, hey, I'm going to yoga on Sunday morning, so you have to watch the little one. Doesn't sound very nice, does it? It's very direct. You're very hey, this is what's happening. Just it's good to be direct, but it's very forceful. It's very masculine in that sense. So instead, I now say, I'm like, hey, I'd love to go to a yoga on Sunday morning. I've already booked it. He doesn't know. He might know if he watches this. But I'm like, yeah, I'd love to go to a yoga class. So you'd have to watch Remy. And then he was like, yeah, cool. Go for it, babe. Because they want to please you. They want to be able to provide something for you so then you can do what you desire and what you actually really, really want. And I could even add to that and say, hey, I'd really love to do a yoga class for myself because it'll just help me relax a bit more. I've been a bit stressed. Or tell him what it would provide for you. Or I think that hour away will just kind of help me reset my brain a bit. I've been a bit flustered. Just tell him what it's going to do for you. And then he'll be like, yeah, go. I'd love to help for that. And this is just 3 small things. I have a guide where I've got a few more things and we go into depth into my programs as well. But you can get the free guide, which also covers there's 8 foundational puzzle pieces to this, full embodiment of feminine energy and masculine energy healing. So your feminine can thrive more. It's a 2-page guide. I've really stripped it back and simplified it for you so you know what to start to explore. So if you want that guide, comment guide or fire, because it's called Activate Your Feminine Fire. Any questions? Do pop them in the comments as well. I love to chat to you guys and keep living your best life. Keep glowing up. Keep rising. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. I have more and more videos coming every week with this kind of information to help you step forwards and get more into your feminine, because there are so many benefits. I can just go on and on about it. There's so many people that will come and say, oh my gosh, my life has turned around 180. It's done a full 180. I feel so different. I feel so alive. Your creativity will flood back in. You will just feel more flirty and more delicious, which is why I've also got a masterclass coming up called Dun, 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 drum roll please. Sassy, sweet and spicy masterclass. And it's for those nice girls, for those lovely kind yogis who need to just crank up their dark feminine energy a little bit more. All right? And we're going to get into that in that masterclass. So keep your eyes peeled. But for now, grab the guide below and I'll see you in the next video.